So these are dry, so now I can start taking off the masking tape and the bags that I put on the end of the track rod ends. And the reason why I don't paint them, apart from the fact that they're different metals, you've got a rough cast there, you've got a shiny bit there, you've got a grease nipple. What I actually going to do them is clear varnish them. That's what I do with them. So they're after turning out very well. Some nice few coats of paint on them there. Very happy with that. So we'll get these fitted, and then hopefully our steering will be sorted, and our feed play will be a thing of the past. I'm really looking forward now to seeing how tight this feels. Let's go back together. One thing I noticed when I was looking back over the videos, any videos I put up, I don't know is it the camera or what, but it seems to automatically be set to show the videos at a low quality. So there is an option of increasing the quality of the picture. You see the kind of gear symbol in the top right hand side of the screen when you're watching a video. If you tap the screen, tap the video screen, there's a gear symbol that appears. If you hit that and hit quality and hit high quality, it seems to improve the quality of the picture, the image, so of the video itself. So that's what I do for many videos. That's what I have to do, to be honest. Some of them are just bad quality. So anyone that's noticing that they're not really seeing things very clearly, that's an option that'll help improve. Now one thing I want to check here while I am here, as I noticed this happened on my own, is this toolbox is getting a little bit close to this arm here. So when I get this tightened, I'm just going to turn the steering wheel, and I'm going to make sure, I might even put the jack on the front of the axle there again, front axle, lift that up completely and give everything a good spin. We'll turn left and right and make sure it's clearing this. That's actually what I'm going to do now. Because these can come out a little bit when they're turning. So that's the last thing I want, is that going to hit. It's only going to be a matter of moving it up anyway. And to be honest, it's hitting, you can see there now, it's hitting an engine bolt. And this radius arm will move, it'll flex with the front axle, and what's going to happen is that's going to hit the engine bolt, and could get stuck on it or whatever and bend something. So I'm going to move that toolbox just a little more forward, that's all. So yeah, these are really looking good now. I'm really happy. I know these would have been painted originally in the factory, but like, let's be honest, they were completely different material like to this, like. And I think sometimes it's nice to show off that you have new parts. So I'm just going to clear varnish them. And there is a bit of grease put on the threads and stuff, or oil in the packaging to stop them from rusting. So yeah, you can clean it off and all that, but I find clear varnish just seems to stick better to them. I put on 2 coats, and it keeps them looking shiny, and they're hard to paint because of the grease boots that's on them. So that's tightening down there, lovely. Probably remember me taking the old ones off. There's a cone in there, kind of grips. So you tighten it till it has pulled that cone in. A fair bit of tightening on this one. I wonder, is it turning? It is turning, yeah. Well, that's no problem. You get the plastic hammer then and you give it a tap. And that's another reason why I don't paint them straight away, because you might have to help them seat. Now we're biting. No, we're not. You can put an Allen key in them in the end, so that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tractor up in a jack, stick the Allen key in the end, and then we'll give them a tighten up. It's just been a little bit awkward, but what harm. So we have some Allen keys here, the tractor's on a jack. We'll see which one it is. Will it be one of these, or we have to get a different one? It actually isn't an Allen key yet. It looks like something like an Allen key, but it's not. So that's no problem. We'll just give it another little tap and tighten at the same time. I don't know why is that being a bit of a nuisance. Coming in at a different angle or something. Yeah, I'll just tap it over this way a little bit. Looks, straighten it up a bit. I might get a socket on the ratchet for that. Just where the lock nut starts to bite. See, the other side doesn't have a lock nut. What it has is a castellated nut, so I'll get a socket and come back. Omadon alert. I'm the Omadon now. I mixed up the nuts. This was meant to be, this was on the other one. And for this one, see now, does this tighten it? Or is it going to turn? Shouldn't turn. Ah, yeah, we're winning now. Lovely. And the other one should be good to go as well. I think. I'll get my headlight on here and we'll see what's happening. It'll be hard to see if it's turning because of the grease. boot. Feels like it's gripping, alright? Yeah, definitely feels like it's gripping. Okay, so that's the first time that we've got our steering tightened up and complete. So now you can see the free play is very minimal there. And to be honest with you, as soon as the tractor is moving, you'll find that all kind of goes. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. That's going to make a massive difference. And it just feels the right side of tight, if you ask me. Now, a lot of this was down to tightening up the bearings in the steering box. I can feel that now. I can really feel the job that has done. Like, that's overlooked so many times. You can put these on, all of that. You can put in your kingpins and your bushings and your truss bearings and all of that and your wheel bearings. But this is important. This is where it all starts from, you know. So that feels mighty. So I'm just looking here at the toolbox. Yeah, it is clearing it, but the issue is this bolt here is catching there, and if this hits, this goes over unlevel ground around, and this front axle lifts up this way, it's going to scratch that. So we'll move it forward a little bit. That's only a small issue. So I am delighted with that. That is going to make a massive difference to the I suppose you could call it the comfort and the drivability of the tractor. Like, Yeah, there's your straight on there, with your this lad pointing straight forward there. Slight toe in on both wheels. Excellent. So what was I said I'm going to do? Yeah, I'm going to move this forward. So you can see one of the bolts there is actually scratching off the bell housing in there. So I might just have to shorten them. Because actually, I can't go much more forward there because this casting is coming out a bit. This casting is coming out a bit. So you can see in the back there, that one was just scratching a bit on the bell housing, and then this one here, of course, is just hitting off that engine bolt. So I can't really come much more forward here because of the shape of the casting. Could I come back? Well, it hit that. See, the tractor's on the jacker, so we'll see what's happening here. It does come a little bit closer, and it comes away then when you're turning that way. We might be able to clear it. Yeah, regardless, I'll have to move it somewhere. They usually are in around that area. If I have to cut a bit off the end of the bolts, I don't mind. If that would, yeah, I think that's what I'll do. That's going to be the safest bet. I'm going to leave it roughly where it is, I think. Thinking on the hop, as usual. These are just all the little things that you need to sort. Cut a bit off this bolt. I'll do them one at a time, so at least that way we can keep the toolbox where it is. Okay, so there we go. Put it back in, get an idea of how much we need to take off. Right, we need to take off about 3 threads worth, so we'll do that over in the vise. Putting a bolt a bit shorter, I always put on the nut, because that nut will actually re-thread it, just in case you don't cut it straight. So I said I'm going to cut about 3 threads off this. And then I just tidy them up a little bit with a file. There's always a little bit of it near the end, they're just sticking out. They help put a bit of a shape on it, and screw it on and off a few times just to get any bits of broken thread sorted, and you're done. So that is ready to go back on. So this is an issue I had with my own 2, my Gold Belly and my Ferguson 20 as well, coming to think of it. So at least to provide bolts that are long enough, more than long enough in this case. So we'll put the washer on this side here. And now we're clearing, and then put a spring washer on in behind. That'll keep everything nice and tight. Little bit awkward to get in there. One of them jobs you need slim fingers for, or a long nose pliers, one or the other. Starting to think it could be a long nose pliers for the job. Yeah. Now, one side done. So now what I said was, by doing it this way, we're not going to move the toolbox. Move the toolbox, then you could easily have damage marks from it on the radius arm there, and you might have to go touching up paint and stuff and all of that. So, no, it seems to be the best place for it there, in fairness. At least this way we'll avoid having to do any much more alteration to anything. So same with this one, out with the bolts. You can cut a lot off this one by the looks of things. Must be a way longer bolt because it does get thicker out here, so it must be a longer bolt on this side. Oh yeah, definitely looks a lot longer, yeah. Now, these toolboxes are very similar to, you know, the same size and all as the original one, so, and this seems to be where they were put, so I would imagine that is the area for them, because you won't really see any other area. Some people hang them on the mudguard. I don't like drilling mudguards or bonnets or anything like that for parts that weren't on them from factory. So I think that toolbox is in the perfect place. Okay, so we'll give this lad, we'll give him a nice shorten. Bloody camera stand. So same thing here. The lock can come off him. Give them a tidy up. There's always a bit of a tidy up needed when you cut them. That's it. That's usually all it takes. Back over and see now if we can sort this out with just this simple job of cutting the two bolts. So put a washer there. There was two washers on the other side. We may as well put one on each side. Yeah, it's just the right amount of thread poking through there. And we're clearing the engine bolt, more importantly. Yeah. So I'll give you a look in there and you can see yourselves we're clearing, because it was going right into that engine bolt there, and the other one at the back there, you can see the clearance between it and the bell housing. So we're good. Give this bodywork a bit of polish. I'm after giving it a wipe down with a kind of a prep spray. I have some polishes here, so I'm going to go with this one here, the versatile. I'm going to put on the wide pad first. So I'm going to give this pad a wash and shake out and blow out with the air gun to get all that old polish off. Won't make a difference really, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then I'm going to put on a smaller polishing pad. I have some 3-inch ones in there that'll fit on there. This is 5-inch, and we'll be able to get into all the nooks and crannies then, hopefully get them polished up. Let's see how we get on. Start with half speed. look and see how that turned out, just in that quick pass, because I'm not sure exactly how the paint is going to respond. So I literally just did, we'll say, that line there, back and above. So we'll see now as this improved a bit. Definitely needs another pass or two anyway. So there's some strange kind of little lads there. I don't know, is that lacquer or what is it? It's like lacquer bubbling. I can't imagine it taking that much of that out. We're just looking for a bit of this will help us protect the paint as well. So yeah, definitely would benefit from a few passes of that, but it's improved the gloss of it anyway. Okay, let's go again. That's number 2. That blistering is slowly going out of it. So we'll keep an eye on that, and that one above it there, just for the crack, we'll just see how we get on. Do we manage to take most of that out? It is fairly hard, I can feel it on my finger, so I can't imagine it taking it all out, but it definitely will help it blend in. And there's another little lad there, so we'll just for the crack give it one more pass and see if we can cut that out. There's the likes of that there, but for this is something I enjoy doing myself, so we'll see if I can just improve it a bit. Right, so I've given it third pass. I don't want to go doing much more than that for fear I end up cutting into the paint a little bit too much. So the first pass showed up a little bit of that kind of bubbling there, so it's nearly gone out of it. This bubble there is a lot more prominent. You can actually feel that sticking out. It's really like a bubble of rust that was painted over, but I'd say it's just blistering from the blistering in the paint. Usually it's something to do with different temperatures and stuff like that, but it's definitely, after bringing up the shine, something fierce. And again, this will help keep the rust off it, because it breaks down into a sealant from a polish compound into a sealant. So, and I will give it another go with an actual sealant, because it gets very damp here in the winter. So yeah, it's coming up lovely. This latch only got one pass, so give him another go now once I clean off the polish off it. There's a few little areas there we could focus on a little bit, but yeah, that's starting to look really good. So it is really good. Yeah, it'll definitely bring up the gloss. It can be hard to do around them coach bolts, obviously the polisher doesn't get in around them, so. But anyway, yeah, I'm happy with that. Starting to look nice. Let's do a fuel latch. Again, fuel tank latch. see how that turned out. Should be nice and easy to polish that because it's such a flat panel. To touch up that coach bolt again, I have that one touched up already. Starting to feel nice and smooth as paint anyway. This is the side that's not done. Definitely has a bit of gloss on it. Yeah, definitely will benefit from a nice polish. And then a nice bit of a sealant. And we will be ready for the winter. Excellent. Right, so what will one pass of this look like? I'll do the 3 passes on it, same as the other side. So there's a little bit of scratches and stuff here, minor stuff really. This is more just to protect the paint, give it a bit of life. So there is a kind of a few blisters there. I'll definitely focus on cutting a few of them out of it. But all in all, even after 1 pass of that stuff, it's definitely improving things vastly. And this shine will last for a long time, as long as you put on the proper sealants. It's okay polishing paint or metal or anything like that. If you have something there that'll help keep the shine, that's going to do you a favour, because it'll save you having to polish it again so quick. So yeah, it's starting to look lovely. I wonder would the mud guards benefit from a lick as well. I have them wiped down with the kind of a panel prep wipes. I might give them a go as well, since we're kitted out for polishing. Lovely. So it stopped raining, so I'm actually going to bring this for a quick test drive now and make sure that everything feels good in it, steering and brakes and all of that. So it's not that dark either, so and all the lights are working. So I'm going to take this chance there now to give it a little test. Try it for a start. Lovely. Our lights are on. So I'm going to bring this up the main road. We're charging. Oil pressure is brilliant. I didn't want to go doing too much recording on the main road, obviously, for obvious reasons. So yes, took it for a test drive. Steering feels really nice. Brakes are locking up better on one side than the other, so I can sort that out easy enough, put it up on the jack on the rear and get them a little bit more balanced. You'll always get that with these anyway. I have never given it much rev up to now. And what I noticed is it just isn't happy holding good revs. I never really rev these engines any more than 2000 anyway. They're governed at 2200, but the throttle seems to, through vibrations or whatever, it seems to kind of go back to about 1600 revs. So when you pull it back, see? So when I had a look in under here, what was happening was this bit looked like it was welded in, and it's just not exactly straight. And what was happening was, you'll probably see it moving there ever so slightly. Probably should get the torch. There, that little bit of movement, it's kind of springing it back a bit. So to get it at maximum governed revs, you would have to keep it held back like that. And that's a bit of a pain in the ass. So I did a bit of work on it, and I'll be able to test that again, and hopefully that'll be sorted.